Alrighty. Granny's back. Welcome back to Foreign Blood, not Foreign Lies. Today I want to give a little learning lesson. That's what Granny does in her videos. We're going to talk about Peach today, but we know that's what Granny does in her videos. She'll use somebody and she'll try to give life lessons through that person because this is somebody that a lot of people are watching. So instead of always just saying, I did, sometimes I use myself as an example, but a lot of people don't know about Granny. So I'll use somebody that's well known so I can give an example through them. Peach, I want you to understand this. Life is about elevation. Listen, sis. Life is about elevation. You obviously have no room for elevation. You guys ever hear anybody or see a situation when you're like, we'll use rappers for example. Dang, they got all that money and they're still out there doing that crazy-ish. Pay attention to what Granny's saying. We'll use rappers for example. They'll be all across the news for doing all this foolishness, and you'd be like, dang, they got all that money. And they're still living like that. You know why? Because they're unable to elevate. Now, Granny, once again, being in the streets for 75% of her life, it would make you wonder. We get so caught up in what we're doing and who we think we are, not who we really are. Who we think we are and what we think we're deserved in life, our mind doesn't elevate. You could take yourself and put somebody and go get other people in your same financial bracket. And you can sit down and have a conversation with them. And they'll be looking at you like, here's somebody that's fought so hard to win. And your mind is stuck where it's at. You're having the problems you're having. You're going through the ish you're going through. And they say money doesn't fix everything. Money isn't everything, but money can fix a lot of things. Let me rephrase that. Money can fix a lot of things. You haven't used your money to fix anything. You think you're some type of psychiatrist because you pull things up and once you pull it up, that's your answer, and that's it, and that's right, because you've researched it. It's deeper than all that, honey. It bothers me because, once again, here's another black woman that has a platform, and she uses this platform to disrespect herself and black people along the way. You continue to make us look stupid. You're just another reason why the world looks at us the way they look at us. Granny, for example. Granny from the street, so Granny's a little bit rougher. Granny just feels totally different about a whole lot of things. I see things for what they are. But Granny used to be rude. Granny still is rude. Granny's obnoxious. Not just used to be, was obnoxious. But I've had to learn to tone that down. Because when I get around the other people that had or have the same money that I did, they would be looking at me like, yeah, I could go spend where they want to spend. I could go shop where they want to shop. I could go with where they want to go. I could invest. I could do this. I could do that. But Granny was a savage. So you put the same person with the big bankroll around the people that act like they have common sense with the big bankroll. You're looking like an idiot. You're looking like an idiot because you don't know how to conduct yourself in person around others. You don't care what anybody thinks about you. You don't care how anybody views you. And that's a sad thing because people will not deal with you just because the way you act. Nobody wants to have that loud, obnoxious, idiotic around them. Nobody does, except another hood rat. Nobody wants to be involved in that. Nobody does, except somebody that's acting just the way you do. That's not, you guys are making that the norm in society. That's not the norm. That's not the norm. We're expected to conduct ourselves a certain way in public, in our houses, around our babies, around our husband, and just for ourselves. But for some reason, we can't follow those guidelines. Why? Because we're unable to elevate. You could throw somebody all the money in the world, and if they're not able to elevate, example, Peach doesn't have a home yet, doesn't have this yet, doesn't have that yet, hasn't seen counseling yet, can't stand to be with their own children, Gotta rush them off to daycare. So Peach, all this stuff you making all this money. What you doing? What's your goal? What's your because these are things, let me tell you something, you should have been accomplished. Ain't no way God put this in your life and let you tell it God did it right. It wasn't you online begging, it was him that did it. Ain't no way he did it. And this where you at right now? I'm talking one on one. So wait a minute. So somebody put it in your life. However it got there, you have every chance there is to win. Now, all these years later, you've been monetized. I got money coming from all these different sites. You should have been had your own home. You should have been. Let me tell you, you didn't want to send them children to school. You could have had a tutor in the house, homeschooling everybody. You had so many different choices on what you could have did with your money. Anything right, you didn't do. Anything that was right and meant something, you didn't do. You was worried about having the newest car, the the little Kirky purses, I don't even believe you. I don't even think you believe in washing clothes. Oh, them clothes will wait. I ain't gotta wash them. I'll go buy more. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. Not to the extent you did, because I'm lying, because I had somebody to wash, clean, all that. So, we're a little bit different there because I actually had somebody that did it the whole span of whenever I was doing what I was doing, best believe there was somebody that did everything that whole span. There was not a day where there wasn't a worker involved. Granny was the type of person where her and her children rode in back seats only. And when we pulled up somewhere, all we did was jump out the car and walk into the mall or walk into the doctor's office. I would have a child handler with me. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't thugging out, chasing children around because I had the help I needed. I used my money for what it was for. I didn't sit there and make it a big deal. Oh, I paid doctor bills. That's what I was supposed to do. I paid for daycare. That's what I was supposed to do. I paid for this. That's what I was supposed to do. I didn't want no pat on the back. I didn't need no congratulations for something I went and created and I had to take care of. How can I expect congratulations? It wasn't the world's job to be proud of me for taking care of children I made. It was my job to take care of them, move on, and fix the next problem or be ready for the next problem that was going to come. It wasn't, we sit here and we think we're obligated for all this praise, all this, you always hear, look what I did for my kids today. That's what you're supposed to do for your kids. Don't nobody owe you nothing. That's what you supposed, all them kids, you lay down with that little rusty man and you had them. That's your job. That's your job. What it is. You keep talking about it because you doing everything your man ain't doing. Your man ain't even a man. Your man is like another child. But that's you. You like what you like. He just ain't got that way. You know what I'm saying? That's why when you first got on Facebook, your supporters had to buy you a car because once again, your baby daddy wasn't the man he needed to be. He was never the man he needed to be. He was this man from day one. But you chose him. You know what I'm saying? Here, a young girl choosing a grown man that ain't got a pot to piss in, but you liked it. You know what I'm saying? Now here you are all these years later, you complaining, but that's what you chose, sis. That's what you chose. Don't nobody tell you to keep laying down having children by him. Listen, I understand we're supposed to have as many children as we can, blah, 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 blah. It's in our mind that we supposed to do that. You supposed to do what's right for you. Basically, you know what wood is? Wood is your nanny. And you just sit here and have all these children while your nanny takes care of them. And then when your nanny don't move right or your nanny don't do what he's supposed to do, it's a problem. Now you're disgracing him. Now you're yelling at him. Now you're talking about him. Well, no, you know what the reality is, Peach. You don't do what a woman's supposed to do. So at the end of the day, your nanny, your husband, nanny/husband, he's tired because he's carrying all the weight. All the way. He's doing everything while you just sit there and direct him and give him a bigger list with more shit to do. I'm just saying, sis. I'm just saying. Chip in, elevate, be that person. That's your family, them your kids. You created that.